Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the University of Central Asia's online public lecture on digital education, creating next generation society. My name is Shaukat Ali Khan, and I'm the Chief Information Officer here at the University of Central Asia. I'm happy to introduce our today's speaker, Professor Dr. Ineta Kristovska. Professor Dr. Anita Kristoska is the head of administration at the Ministry of Education and Science, the Republic of Latvia, associate professor at Receiver University, expert on digital education, member of the board of Distance Education Center of Latvia. She is also a former vice rector and member of Association of University Professors of Latvia. Her research areas include change management, education management, education, and education export. Dr. Anita Kristovska is the author of more than 30 scientific articles, study materials, leader of more than 20 international projects, guest lecturer in HEIs in Europe and CIS countries. During the presentation, if you have any question, then please write at the Q&A section so that we can ask the speaker. And all the participants who are attending this from on social media, on Facebook, please put your questions in the comments section and then we can pick up from there and then ask to the speaker. With those words, please welcome Professor Dr. Ineta Kristoska.
Hello, everybody. It's my pleasure to participate in this lecture, not only because this is my topic of my life, maybe I can say, but I have special love with your countries because I have been there several times, and I appreciate your hospitality and your warmness. And because of that, it's a great day for me to share my presentation and just to speak about how can we learn digital competencies and how can we be participants of this life because of our competencies. I will share my screen with you in a minute. I think that everything is visible.
Yes, it's visible.
But at the beginning, maybe some kind of introduction that describes the reality of our life. We live in the 21st century, and everybody knows that society today are more and more digital. And digital transformation has an impact on all sectors of our lives. And tasks that used to be done on paper are now done digitally. For example, government paperwork, tax returns, travel and booking systems, shopping, and other tasks. And during the pandemic COVID-19, this has been extremely visible when everything went online and vulnerable groups became even more vulnerable due to lacking competences, understanding, infrastructure, and even devices, but maybe most of all habits, attitudes, and digital mindset. Digital competencies need to be learned by users as it includes not only knowledge, but also experiential competencies, skills, attitudes, and new mindsets as well. Without digital competencies, individuals will be excluded from society. And learning digital skills requires not only external motivation, but also that users feel that they are more independent citizens. And of course, this is not a secret that our digital competence is very linked with the economical development of our country. I don't mean my country or on yours, I mean country in general. In this picture, you can see, let's say, a type of different kind of participation of our, let's say, of our participation in economical life according our digital skills. We start with a very simple participation in all processes, and it depends with basic digital skills for every citizen. The next step is practical use. That means self-development and self-paced learning, participation and use of digital skills, systems and application. If you go further, we should speak about service providers. That means education, lifelong learning, community support, officials, and everything that we can develop for our society. The next step is building services, content, and systems. It means business, public sector who develops, creates, and maintains applications, IT systems, and solutions. And on the top, there is a profit. That means ICT sector, academics, research, and where the range of ICT digital skills are fundamental for profitability. Sorry. Um, One second. If we are talking about my country, we have created several kind of documents in order to discover and develop the potential of each person throughout life to build the capacity to change and lead responsibility, permanent changes in society and economy. We have created a special education development document for the period starting from 2021 till 2027. And here we can put digital literacy as a transversal element in education policy for all society of our country. And it includes personal potential, that means personality development, career choices, that means well-being, culture development. The next is economic development. That includes professional potential, participation in economic activities as an employer or employee. And the third one is civic potential, active participation in social and political processes. And it helps to develop democracy and to develop a country at home. Um, Sorry. Of course, we have several kind of. I tried to make some changes. If we are talking about this document about digital skills, we would like to improve several things. Firstly, we want to improve so-called DESE index. At present moment, it is 43%, and we would like to go to 70% of our development. We would like to improve our high-level digital skills from 24 till 33%. And we would like to improve young people basic digital skills from 70% to 85%. We need a lot of IT specialists, and we would like that approximately 3% of all of our students will be IT specialists in the future. And of course, our goal is to increase the number of graduates during IT studies as well. I will explain a little bit later how the situation in the previous in this time, but we would like to improve different kind of areas that are linked with digital skills and improvement of these skills. We would like to making better use of technologies. It includes education content, user-friendly tools, very secure platforms, and of course, ethical standards of all of this as well. We are thinking about optimal technological capacity of our schools, infrastructure, connectivity, digital equipment. And of course, we are thinking about our teachers because I think this is not a secret in every country that sometimes teachers are not so good in IT if we compare with students, with school children. That means if you would like to be a good teacher, you have to be good in on digitalization, and you have to have digital competences on very high level to be better sometimes as your students are. Of course, we are thinking about improving data analysis because it's not a secret as well that data analysis is very important on all levels of the development of our society. Data analysis is on the base of our economical, political life, and of course of our education as well. How to make digital society and economy. Firstly, as I mentioned before, we have to think about digital skills for all people in our countries. That means that we have to create partnership with NGOs, private sector, municipalities. We have to create different learning models, and we have to think about awareness raising. I am happy of my country because our government put a lot of financial resources in in those processes. We use European money and and our own money as well. And at present moment, the budget is around 40 millions for those skills. The second part of these processes is industry-led trainings. That means that we have to create different learning models. We have to offer collaborative training, facilitating access to experts, different kind of experts, not only local experts, but experts from all over the world. And the last but not the least, facilitating access to digital tools and solutions. And here we have a lot of money as well that we have put in those processes. So our country is very supportive, and all of our government members are thinking how to prove processes of digitalization for economic development needs. What shall government do? What tools do we have? I mentioned several of them, but there may be the description is more detailed. If we are talking about facilitating demand and motivation, we have to mention motivational nuggets in taxation and employment law, task force, hybrid and agile stewardship on topic, tackling current reform domains, higher education leadership, industry transformation, digital transformation strategy, different kind of screening and mapping skills. I have to mention special project School 2030 that we create several years ago, and now it starts. That means this is a special project of our schools. I will explain in some words a little bit later as well. We have to raise the bar of standards. Firstly, design of digital skills provision and programs, it's very important. Design of support programs and improve skills forecasting and modeling system. And of course, we need to provide models of cooperation. It includes internationalization and visualization, adaptation and localization of MOOCs, online courses, social learning platform. By the way, Latvia is very famous with its history of distance education because we started this form of education on 90s of the last century. I'm very happy that I was one of the pioneers of distance education um, program development here in Latvia, and it helps uh, us now where COVID is very active here, and we have to change all system of our education, not only education but our economical and political life as well. We have to make focus on capacity of higher education and different other kinds of education on skill provision, broadening of work-based learning. And work-based learning is very acute right now. And if you have digital skills, it makes this work-based learning process more easily. We have to improve digital skills evaluation and certification system and fostering development of modular targeted programs online and of course offline as well in cooperation between local higher education institutions, international ones and industry. And the last element is very important in every program creation process because industry, our partners of industry can put, let's say, the main topics of nowadays and to make those programs more digital, let's say. Um, if we are thinking about different kind of focus groups, there we can find several of them. First, boosting superstars. That means universities and research institutions, centers, organizations with superior expert potential and network in RIC 3 strategic specialization areas. We have to think about balancing gender distributions in IT. And we know that from primary school to forever best year for career, reboot and high value entrepreneurship, provision of skills and motivation, working conditions, career advancement and workplace security. And I will explain a little bit later how the situation about balance on gender on IT sphere is described in our country. And of course, we have to think about local digital initiatives, broad availability of basics. Together with other stakeholders and institutions, we have to relaunch of basic skills program, once known as Trešais tēvadēls, it is in English, in Latvian, sorry. That means the third son of his father. What are our plans for the future in the digitalization process or on the development of our society? Firstly, we are thinking about citizens' participation in governments, users of e-government services. We are happy that our e-government services are on the very high level, but in any case, we need improvement. And firstly, we need to improve not only technological things, but we need to improve our thinking and our skills to use these services. We need to think about enterprises employing ICT specialists. And at present moment, we have made a different questionnaires, and we know how many people our enterprises needs who are absolutely fluent in ICT and different kind of competences linked with ICT. If we are thinking about the economic development of any country, we have to speak about integration of digital technology by enterprises. And we are thinking that we will make big progress during this 7 years, 6, 7 years. And if you invite me, let's say next time in 7 years, I will explain our results as well. Some additional information on digital skills. I think that digitalization of our society starts from the time that child is born. But if we are talking about school process, education process, of course, it's the first step for development. Maybe you can say that the first step is digitalization at the family, but I am speaking about education process, let's say not in family, but out family. And at present moment, we are thinking about use of digital technologies starting from preschool. And from the beginning, we think that the main thing is investments in teaching resources, because our school children will be happy if our teachers will be very competitive and full of different kind of competencies, including digital ones as well. And we think that starting from the preschool, digital literacy has to become as transversal skill for everybody. And we plan to put more than 2 million in this process during the, let's say, next 3 years. To make our economy more strong, we are absolutely sure that we need to revise curriculum for our schools. And we revised absolutely all curricula of our school programs, and we put digital literacy as one of 6 transversal skills from preschool to upper secondary. We create a new learning area for our school children. That means technology, ICT, engineering, basic design, and technology. And we have a lot of schools right now that has this new learning area. And we think that they are very modern schools. They think about future, and they will be prepared for this digital time that starts yesterday, but that is very, very active right now. And we include programming course options for up to 420 hours at upper secondary level. That means that we would like that our school children are prepared for their life in the future. Because if you have no digital skills, you have nothing at present time. We think about schools, and we try to make these schools more functionable. I can say this way. And of course, technological capacity in schools and municipalities leadership of school management teams. These are our, let's say, things number one that we would like to improve as well. And I think it's very important to do this. Firstly, we are thinking about digital technologies equipment. uh, I am very happy that we are proud that internet in Latvia is one of the with one of the highest speeds in Europe. But and our families have a lot of good equipment. But in any case, if we are thinking about the future of our school children, government is responsible for digital equipment for each of our school children. And we have a plan that in the next years we have one equipment, let's say one computer per 5 students at the first till 3 grade, uh, one computer per 3 students in grades 4 till 12, and one per one in the grade 7th and 10th. Why? Because this year, grade 7 and 10 starts this new program, School 2030, where digitalization is very important. As I mentioned before, we put a lot of money to improve internet speed in our country. Uh, Even if it is very good, we think that we need better. We put a lot of money on digital skills of teachers, and our aim is that absolutely all of our teachers effectively use digital technologies in the teaching process. We have a huge amount of different courses, different lectures for this use, and we create a special methodological support system for teachers as well. And of course, digital content is very acute as well, because it gives opportunity to change our thinking, to change um, our possibility to be in all processes of digital society. Maybe because of lack of time, I just to show this picture, and will not explain how we work with digital skills for our teachers. But I think that our main aim is to develop leadership, team management, and to create personal growth of our very good teachers with one aim: good teacher make a good student. Um, Maybe some words about digitalization of higher education in our country. I think that we have started a very huge reform on higher education, and it is linked with digitalization as well. Firstly, I think that we have to think about quality of studies, and digital literacy is very important in all study programs. We think about modelization of study programs, and of course of enrollment increase of IT field. We think about teachers, but on academic level. We think about academic staff, because study methods about digital development is very important in any level of teaching. We think about international competitiveness, and it is very important on digitalization of education, because of course we all of us are experts, but we are experts on local level, And every time is very important to share your ideas with other people and to get feedback. And I have a very good example of my country. Last year, specialists from our technical university, University of Latvia and Buffalo University, United States, um, decide to prepare high-level IT specialists who are able to manage large projects and companies, creating Latvian and Baltic leadership in field of IT. And we find huge amount of money, several million euros for this purpose. We pay to get back good specialists for our economy. And we are happy that some of good examples we have right now and will have in the future as well. If we are thinking about our future digital centers of excellence is very important as well, because this leadership of digital innovation centers and provisional of digital skills means high performance computing, language technologies, digital medicine, and different other kind of development, of possible development of the country. Uh, if we are thinking about IT and STEM programs, I think that it is very important to see graduate tracking according their income. And here we can see that graduates from natural sciences, mathematics, IT, engineering and manufacturing are with better salary, like say, like humanities or education specialists. So this is maybe the extra motivation for young people who didn't decide yet according their future profession. And we are organized different kind of study visits to our schools to explain how important it is to study IT and how it influence the processes of your career. Um, Here in this picture, you can see one of our not problem, but I think it's a problem. Even we have a good number of ICT and ICT related study programs in our higher education institutions. Approximately 10,000 people. You see that there is a big problem. Uh, Enrollment and graduates. This is not very easy process to graduate these very important programs, and until now we have a huge amount of people who would like to enroll, but not so big amount of students of ICT that graduates those programs. And here you can see the situation of our country, Latvia, among ICT students in 28 European countries. Finland, Estonia, and Ireland are on the first three places. We are a little bit, we have not so good situation. But in any case, we are on the way to improve this one as well. And we put a lot of money for budget finances to widen the number of students financed by the state. I think that if we are speaking about digitalization, it is very important to speak about gender balance on ICT. And you can see that ICT is one of the study fields where there is a clear pathway to increase the amount of enrolled students by reducing the gender gap. And only at present moment, only approximately 20% of our ladies study ICT. It is totally male specialization. But if we compare the successful or the marks of our students of ICT, we can absolutely sure that sometimes ladies are better. but I think that this is a, let's say, challenge for our ladies, and this is a challenge for country as well, to involve ladies in ICT study process. Here in this picture we can see that at present moment we need more than 3,000 ICT specialists in our enterprises. That means that even our universities are very active and our students are very good. There is a lack of ICT specialists. And this is a problem if we would like to create, let's say, our digital society. Of course, we need to speak about digital skills for adults as well. I just maybe put some very small points on this. I think that we need to show to our adults different learning opportunities, because we become elder and elder, and sometimes we are scared of different digital advisors. For example, my mom, she is absolutely undigital, and she doesn't want to use any kind of personal computer or cash machine or something like that, because she's scared of those processes. But if I show her how it is easy, this is not a problem. We at present moment we have more than 55,000 employed adults that will be upskilled and reskilled by the next 2 years. And I think that this part, elderly people, we say adults starting from 55, let's say, this is one of our main target groups for digitalization, to make them more to make them more comfortable in their feelings in our society. Of course, we need to focus on vocational secondary education, and secondary vocational schools can help to our adults as well. Integrating future skills, green and digital transformation skills, using web resources, etc., etc. And of course, creating different kind of digital platforms as well. At the end of my presentation, I would like to come back to economical life and economical situation. And here you can see a very simple picture, the top of 10 digital skills that employers are looking for today. It's programming, web and application development, business analytics, digital design and data visualization, digital project management, digital product management, digital marketing, social media, data science and data analysis, decision making for managers, and something they haven't seen yet. That means innovations. Practically, it's something like a Superman or super lady that are welcome to our enterprises. And sometimes when we see this picture, oh my God, I can't do anything of that. But just stop and think. You have some of these digital competencies, and the other one you can improve anytime. And at the end of my presentation, I would like to say one, to make our economy more powerful, more successful, we have to change the paradigm of education. This is the first task for everybody. And here you can see our old economic model that starts with education in school, university, that in we go to our career life, it is work, career, growth, And then we are thinking about our pension. Uh, we think that, for example, if we are 67 years old, our life is over, and we just have to go to the garden and see our plants, maybe to speak with our neighbors, or do anything that is not connected with the development of economics. It's our old model, because the new paradigm of education, including digitalization of all processes, it is divided in three parts. Firstly, it's learning, and it consists of learning and studies in different levels, starting from the kindergarten and ending, let's say, I don't know, in adult education. By the way, I would like to explain very good example of my life. My oldest student was 93 years old. His name was John, and he studied English. And I asked, Dad John, why did you study English? Why it's necessary for you? You are fluent in Latvian and you are fluent in Russian, because your life was in Soviet times. He said, oh, you are very stupid, my dear professor. You don't understand that life is so different. Yes, I know Latvian, and I know Russian. Every day I watch TV and I listen different kind of news. And they are totally different in Russian and in Latvian. And because of that, I study English to be more, how to say, informed. This is my motivation, to get the third point of view from English speaking medias. It's a very good motivation. If we compare this second block, let's say career block, uh, as we remember, for example, our moms, dads, grandparents, they were happy to stay in the same working place during the whole life. Uh, Today situation is absolutely different, and we have to think about our career every day, because if you are not the best one, you are the worst one, and you can lost your job, you can lost your salary, and your life will be unhappy if you will not be in all processes every time. And I think that our life is totally changed, because if we thought about estimated lifetime, let's say for pension period, let's say 65, 67 years, that now estimated lifetime is 90 years. And if you are 50 years old, uh, maybe your mother say, oh, I'm old. No, I'm not old. I have maybe more, 40 years or more, to be involved in all processes of our economical life, because estimated lifetime now, it's 90 plus years. And we need to understand that success indicators for our life is learning abilities plus adaptability. And then we will be absolutely involved in all processes, and we will not think about our age. So I think that it helps you to understand digital education, let's say, maybe importance in present period, because if we are not thinking about digitalization, digital education, digital content, digital thinking, we will not be involved in all processes in the future. So thank you very much. I am ready to answer on your questions if you have any.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anita, for an excellent presentation and sharing the situation in Latvia, which looks very impressive and actually promising, and also sharing an excellent example of lifelong learning, because learning is never stops. So due to time, we can take two questions, and the first question is, about. Can you also share about the challenges you have been facing there in this digital education journey? There, what are the top three challenges you can identify, and then what are the how you approach them to solve and address those challenges?
Please, challenges of what? I didn't get it.
So have you the I think the question is have you faced any challenges in this journey of where you are in the digitization in Latvia, especially from the education point of view?
Mhm. Thank you for this question. The main challenge is to change your mind, to change the mind of our society, because a lot of people are not ready for this new challenges of our life. We are living, let's say, in calm situation. Nothing has happened. It's very interesting. So we use the same methods as our school like 20 years ago. Yes, it's interesting, but students, they develop faster, like, let's say, my generation. And I think that firstly we need the first and the main challenge and is to change our mind, to be and maybe to be motivated, to um, involved in all processes of education, and to understand that education is a never-ending story, and you can get a good education even you are 5 years or even you are 35 or 95 years old. It's never-ending story, and I can give you a very simple example how I define, am I satisfied with this society or the society is satisfied with me? I recommend you to watch cartoons with your children. And if you don't understand the subject of these cartoons, and you sometimes you see just monsters, but your child say, "Oh, mom, dad, how beautiful is, let's say, calf or this mouse," and you don't understand which one is mouse and which one is cow in this cartoon, that means that you have to change your mind and you have to study some extra to be on the same level like your child. If you are not, I think nobody wants to be the last one. This is my point of view of, this is my philosophy.
Thank you, Dr. Anita. Another question is that in your presentation, you said that computers will not replace teachers. But do you think that the teachers who use computers will replace those who don't?
Uh, I think that the problem of good teacher is in each country, and there is a different kind of criteria for a good teacher. I think that teachers who are in friend relationships with computers, of course, they are on the better position because they are closer to their school children, to their students. And if you would like to be um, better, you have to study more and more. And I always try uh, to, to help teachers to be better, but they have to understand that even you don't like computer, you don't digital things, you must um, you must study, because no any choice. We go further and further with this digitalization. Yes, I am a teacher of Latvian language and literature as well, and I hate if my students can explain their thoughts like in Facebook ad, for example. But I understand that this is typical for this generation, and even if I don't like it, I have to accept it and to try to adapt. This is the task of myself like a teacher.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Ineta Kristovska, for an excellent presentation and sharing your thoughts. Thank you all the participants who are watching us here on Zoom and also on the Facebook. We have recorded this lecture and this will be available on our University of Central Asia's YouTube channel in a couple of days. Thank you very much for everyone for your time and your participation. And thank you, Professor Dr. Anita Kristoska, for your time. Thank you and have a
Thank
very
you.
nice afternoon.
Yes, good luck. Good luck. Have a
Thank you
nice
very
day.
much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.